Let's start.
Yes. Uh, Good evening, one and all present here. Myself, Pratiksha Rajani, student of, I would be very happy to share that I am student of the host, Jayan. Jayan sir is my guru. So thank you, sir, for allowing me to have a session on our own platform. We both met since last 10 years, I suppose. Exactly, I do not remember. So welcome you all. And my today's session is on peer pressure. What is peer pressure and how we have to handle the peer pressure? How do we take it? And what all are the things which we consider for the peer pressure? So most welcome to you all. And let us get started with peer pressure. So before I start, let first of all, please, okay. So as such, I told you that I'm working with under Jain sir. He is my guru, and I've learned behavior therapies from him. Along with that, Mindcraft. I am as a working partner with Mindcraft, and we both are brand ambassador of EQ for Peace. That is by Mr. Matt USA. And we have been working over many workshops, many webinar series, conducting workshops offline and online as well. So thank you, Jayan sir. So before I start, I would like to ask you, what do you mean by peer pressure? I request all the participants to answer in chat box that what exactly you mean by peer pressure. If the word is in front of you, peer pressure, what does it really means? The chat box is open. You can just write down your answers. What exactly the peer pressure means? Just a second. Please come up with your answer. It would be very good to know. Okay. So let me tell you that peer pressure is peers.
Society pressure.
Sorry?
Society pressure.
Society pressure. If we are working in one office, then pressure created by our colleagues. If we are in school, pressure created by students, those who are among us. So basically, peer pressure means peer group. They are of the same age, they are of the same mentality, they belong to the same particular thought process. Okay, so generally, basically, we are influenced by our peers. Peer pressure refers to the influence exerted by a peer group, the group where we belong to. They can be colleagues, they can be classmates, they can be batchmates, they can be most of the time they can be friends, they can be our office workers, those who are working with us. So those kind of persons, they pressurized us directly or indirectly to change our own values, to change our own thought process. That is known as peer pressure. So, and basically, why they want us to change everything in order to make us like them. Yes, I have a message from Smruti. I have peer pressure. Is that peer pressure, the person for something, and they force you to do something compulsory. Yes, Smruti, you are right. That is known as peer pressure, right? Next slide, please. Who are our peers? So let us check. As I told you, that people, those who belong to the same age, those who are close to us, those who have experienced, interest, thought process similar like yours. Peers naturally play a greater role in your life and also influenced you by the way you dress, you act, your attitude in every single matter. They force you to behave like them, to behave like the whole group. Nowadays, you see one example I would like to share it with you all, that we all might have gone through that in any marriage function or something like that. Nowadays, it has started that during Haldi ceremony, go for some dress code. During Dandiya, they in the invitation card itself, they write down that the dress code for this ceremony is this. Dress code for this ceremony is this. If it is a ceremony at corporate level where you have to maintain some of the dignity, then it's okay, fine, that you have to wear a overcoat, you have to wear tie, or you have to wear suits or something like that. But if it is a marriage or any function, apart from the corporate sector, apart from the office, it is your casual.
Muted. Yes, continue.
Then too, they force you to behave like that. So this can be considered as peer pressure. So those people are your peers. Next slide. Why do we have peer pressure? Now the question is that why do we accept such pressures? Basically, if you are going to a college, then there is always, some celebrations, some days are there, and they always have to force you to wear something which you do not belong to. But at times we do accept. Why? Just only because we wish that they should accept us. We want to indulge into the group. We want to mix into it. We want to be with them. That is the reason they are exercising pressure. We want ourselves to be accepted by all of them, so that we do not feel alone. We do not feel like we are separated from the group, from the society, right? So that is the main reason we accept the peer pressure. Next slide, please. Once again, peers are someone who is similar to you in age, grade, gender, or other traits. As I told you, friends, classmates, kids in the society, neighborhood. Especially, we have specific areas. If you reside in particular area, your dressing style will change. Your habits will change. Your thought process will change. If you see, like, we follow our own culture. At that time, few of the society people or people around us, they may think that they are orthodox, right? So in that case, we start behaving like that, right? So this is what we need to understand, that we don't have to be like that, right? Let us say further. Next. Strong influences from people in group to make the group members do something. They pressurized us. One of the most difficult aspect of growing up. Hard to resist, easy to pursue. It is very difficult for us to say no. For an example, you are residing in one particular area, you are going for a job to one particular place, away from your hometown, away from your native town, and as such, you do not have anyone there who is known to you, right? And your friends or your colleagues, they have that mentality that after the office hours, they just go out to hang out, to go for a lunch, to go for a dinner, or to go for just like that, having some snacks and just passing the time. And you are not that kind of people. You are not that kind of person. Once you complete your office hours, you want to go home, right? Then in that case, if they are forcing you, and as such you are residing away from your native town, what will you do? What will you do? You are not interested. You want to go home after your office hours. But more of the people in your office, they are going for a dinner or for hanging out somewhere. You will be forced to do so. So that is the reason it's very hard for us to resist, because we have that fear that we will be left alone, right? Next. Now, during this time, its example is ragging, and it happens in college. Yes, Smriti has replied that ragging is also that kind of pressure, and it happens in college, right? So making choice at that time, when the people around us are pressurizing us to do something, what we have to do? We have to think whether it is right from my angle, whether it is right from the society's angle, whether it is right if I do that. Every day going out is not a great idea. At weekends, once in a month, you can hang out with your friends. So at those times, you have to make the choices. Simply being carried away just because you want to be so called like that. You want to be in fashion. You want to be in that cool trend, right? Then it may happen that you take wrong decisions. So what you all have to think that what is right for you, what is benefited to you, what are all your own thought process, is it? And what is wrong, that is acting without thinking all such things and being negative. Monthly once you can hang out with your friends, it's okay. Life is there for enjoyment. But every day you are going out, you are going away from your native place to earn something for your family. And simply wasting by daily going out in such parties or something like that, do you think is it the great idea? Okay, so we need to have we have to make choices, hard choice between what is right, what is wrong, what is right from your side, from your angle, what are your own family ethics, what are your own values, and how you are going to move along with that, right? Next. So when you are pressurized, you can always get a help. So who can help you out? Parents, teachers, principal, counselors, religious advisors, police department, and at times some telephonic hotlines are available for counseling guidelines. Online counseling is available. So these are the people who can help you out. They can guide you for the same. But for the first and foremost thing is that you need to know by your own self. You need to introspect yourself that why you are going alone, why you are carried away by this, and what not. If you choose to be who exactly you are, right? Next. How they affect us. Now let us understand how peers affect us. Sometimes peer pressure is really affecting the people positively. For an example, that in your office, two of the colleagues are there, right? And you have the habit of doing your work at ease. But your friend who is there with you, he or she always insists you to do your work as fast as possible and complete the task. They are always behind you. The task. Right? So in that case, that pressure is good. It gives you the thought process. It motivates you to do something which is good. Right? So the way they interact with others, and they help you to take your own decision. Okay, if you have lost your identity, they help you to take the decision by helping you to know your own self. Such kind of peer pressures can be positive. There can be positive peer pressure. At times, there are negative peer pressure as well. Right? So please change. Next slide. What are the outcome of negative peer pressures? Negative peer pressures can lead you to be in stressful condition, to be stressed, to be depressed, because you are following the things which are not in your own ethics, which you do not value, which is not your part of life, and you are doing simply out of somebody's forcing you to do. And you are doing it because you want to get accepted by them. Right? So that is negative peer pressure. And the outcome is that it can leave you trouble with your parents and surroundings. It may affect your health. For example, if you are residing in an area where drinking is available, you do not drink, but all of your friends are drinking, they force you to drink, then it may affect your health because you are not used to it. You don't want to do it, but you are just simply doing it to get along with them, right? It can lead to having any friends and losing socialization. It may leave you to be alone, right? Next. What are the outcome of positive peer pressure? Peer pressure are positive as well. They force you to work. If you're lazy enough and your friend is asking you, continuously hammering you to complete your task given by the higher authorities or what all the things you are doing it, then he is inculcating some good things in you, which is actually good for your own self. It is not breaking your values. It is not breaking your own process. It is correcting what all your flaws are, right? So positive peer pressure can help you to learn with new things, gaining new experience, giving you opportunities, learning to overcome self-fears, self-doubt. They push your limits so that you can overcome your own limits. Build friendship through encouragement and good advice. Okay, next please. Peers are the individuals with whom a child or adolescents identify themselves, who are usually but not always of the same age group. Same identification. It is not about the skin tone, it is not about the physics, it is not about the thought process. It is about the same age group. Here there are people, those who will be liking the songs of Lata, Rafi, Mukesh from old 70s and 80s. Here we do have the people with us, those who likes the songs of this so-called this pop star and rapping and I don't know all this Arijit Singh and all those. I'm talking about Bollywood singers. I don't know much about South. So there is a mass who would be liking those. So the mass actually, the current mass where all of the people are following one or the other thing, it is almost same, right? Peer pressure can happen when we are influenced to do something which we usually do not do or don't want to do, or stop us from doing something which would we like to do. It can be both the way. The things which you cannot do, they force you to do the things which you don't want to do. And it can be the other way, that whatever you feel good, whatever the best thing you are doing it, they stop you to do that. For an example, if you are a person you are a very particular person and you believe in whatever the task is given is to be completed on time or on that particular day. So generally you have the habit of staying and doing overtime at your office without expecting anything in return. It is not that you want your boss to be impressed with, but it's your own thought process that whatever the task is given, if it is possible, it should be completed on the given particular day, right? At the same time, your peers may ask you, they may force you not to do overtime, whether you are paid for the OT or not, right? So they don't want you to do your work properly. So even this can affect us. That what you don't want to do, they force you to do. And what you want to do, they do not want you to do that. Right? So it can affect the both the way. Next, please. As I told you that peers are the people around us that have similar situation like us, friends, colleagues with same age group, etc. When individual in your peer group are pressurizing you to do that the things you don't want to do, it is called peer pressure. Next, please. Why do we have peer pressure? As such, I told you because we want to get accepted by everybody else. There is a fear of being alone. There is a fear of left alone. When especially you are not with your residing with your native people or with family, right? Next. Next slide. There are three types of peer pressure: positive, that we have discussed; negative, we have discussed; and neutral also. But let us get in detail with positive peer pressure. Positive peer pressure gives you good influence. They challenge you to perform well. As I told you, that they push your own limits to do the things better, in which the way you can do it, right? Expects you to behave responsibly, inspires you to improve your health, appearance, etc. Encourages you to do your best in school, get you to work with others to improve your school, community, or join club you are interested in. They help you for your own benefit, for your own betterment, not for their betterment. Expect you to be fair and caring. They want you to be responsible. They want you to be more sensible. They want you to push your own limits. They want you to identify your own hidden talent and work on it, right? Next. Negative peer pressure is always dangerous and against the moral values, against your own thought process, against your principles of your life and your behaviors. Underage drinking, for an example, underage drinking, drugs of any kind, self-mutilation, vandalism, theft, bullying, wrecking, this all can be the examples of negative peer pressure, right? Next. Neutral peer pressure. Now, what do you mean by neutral peer pressure? It occurs when peers pressurize one to go along with the crowd in a way that it is not harmful to others. Neither it is harmful to you nor it is harmful to others. That is called neutral peer pressure. The boss has organized the party. If you are attending, it's okay. If you are not attending, it's okay. This is neutral peer pressure. It is not going to harm any of your boss or any of your colleagues if you do not attend. And even if it is not going to harm you as well, if you do not attend, right? So that can be termed as best example for neutral peer pressure. This type of pressure occurs frequently in the teenage years and should not be considered a problem. This kind of peer pressure occurs frequently. So we should not consider it and we should not take this as lightly. Many of us as teenager kids, at that time we need to make them aware that beta what peer pressure is, because at this age the teenagers are very sensitive and they do undergo a hell lot of peer pressures, right? For example, your friends invite you to go for a party which many friends will go. As I told you, now example is printed over here. I wasn't aware of. Next. Now, let us do one activity. How to avoid peer pressure. How to control peer pressure, or how you shouldn't be pressurized from your peers. So first and foremost thing, so my dear friends, are you ready for the activity? I'm going to give you 10 questions and you are supposed to write the answers. You can write the answers in the chat box, or you can write down, you can pen down in the paper. So let us take the first question. If you know your strength, it would be very easier for you to overcome the peer pressure. But what kind of strength, right? First is your physical strengths. You need to know what all are your physical strength. It can be your height, it can be your voice, it can be your eyes, it can be your lips, it can be your body structure. This can be your physical strength, right? Next, your mental strength, your emotional strength, how you are emotionally. You are happy in helping others. You can understand others' situation. You are empathetic. Exactly. You can empathize. You can even help others. Okay. So this is what your emotional strength is. I am fit and healthy. My voice is good as I can sing well. Yes, Smruti, this is your physical strength. Thank you, Smruti, for answering in the chat box. Third is your social strength. How you are in the society. Are you friendly? Are you socially awkward? You enjoy to be in groups. You like to be in groups. You can lead the group properly to one particular destination. You would like to undergo group activity, right? Your academic strength or how you are expertise in which field. That is very much important. I have one of my best friend who is real good at skiing and everything. But I'm not that good in that. I'm very good at writing. I can write very fast. So it is the hobby. Writing is my hobby. I love to write. And to do knitting is it's her hobby. So that can be your inner strength. That is your strength. If you give me something to stitch or knit, I may not be able to do it. In fact, I don't know. If you ask me to write down something on the given topic, I will definitely write it down. Right? So that is your academic strength or your expertise strength. Your own beliefs, your own value system, the principles of your life. You might be following those principles. Okay, I am getting answers from Smruti regarding this. So these are 5 questions. I am giving you 1 minute time, quick time to recall yourself and just write it down. Sir, we would take just 1 minute for them to write down.
Okay.
Yeah. So my dear friends, I want you to write down the answers of these questions. Just a minute or so. It would be really helpful to you, and even you can take screenshot as well. It is going to be very helpful to you. Yes, my dear friends, I wish you are able to write down the answers of this. If any doubt, any query, you can just ask me in the chat box or simply raise your hand, unmute yourself and ask if you do not understand by knowing your strength. These are the key points. If you are aware about all these key points, it will be very easy for you to deal with all sorts of peer pressure. And as such, it is not like that we are being pressurized at our office, at our home, at our schools, or the place where we are working it with our colleagues. We are pressurized by the society as well. We are pressurized by the family member as well. So my dear friends, are you able to write the answers? Just simply say yes or no in the chat box and let it be a live interaction. It would be very easy. Yes, my dear friends, are you able to write down the answers? Say yes or no in the chat box. Okay. So let us move further. Influence of good peer pressure. It creates a real good friendship. We can find friendship and acceptance and share experience that can be built everlasting.
Muted.
Social.
Okay, continue.
Okay, Smruti is writing answers in the chat box and I'm giving it. Thank you so much, Smruti. Our peer groups gives us opportunities to try out new social skills, to get along with the society, getting to know a lot of different people and help us to build a relationship. These days, socializing is very much important. Why? Because we are getting away from our family. Joint family are turning into neutral families. People are more socialized over social media, but socialize with your own caste, your own caste, creed, people, everyone, right? With your neighbors, with your near and dear ones. Next, it encourages you to do something which you were never ever able to do. As I told you, it will help you to push your own limits. Our friends can encourage us to study hard and not to give up easily if there is any problem. This is a big encouragement, especially amongst teenagers. Our boss is always criticizing us, but one of your friend, one of your colleague always tells us that, no, please go through this rough stage. Then the boss will definitely take your work into consideration, and you are doing it. And it happens that your work is being taken into consideration after some of the time, right? So that is encouragement. Peer pressure leads to such kind of encouragement. Our friends listen and give us feedback as we try out new ideas, explore beliefs, and discuss problems. Peers can help us to make decision, and also our peers can give us advice and do the right things. They help us to know the right things. They help guide us to do the right thing. Next, please. So last but not the least, I think that would be the second last slide, I suppose. So be proud of how you have been handling this last few months, how you have faced your critical conditions, how you have faced your adverse condition, how you have withstand with the ups and downs of your life, the silent battle which you have fought, and the moments you had to humble yourself, the times you have wiped off your own tears and celebrated your own strength, the moment when you have fallen down and getting up by your own self and standing to fight back again. Okay, next. As I told you, that good peer pressure can help you to learn something new, can have new experience, find your own hidden talent. You can overcome your fear. You will avoid breaking the law. You will be amongst the society, the people, appropriate civilians, right? Proper civilians. Getting into trouble with your parents and hurting your own health. You will avoid all such things. Friendship, socializing, encouragement, good advice, and many more things. Next. How can bad peer pressure affect you? It affects you totally adversely. Usually it leads to do something which is against the society, against the norms of the laws, right? Such as drinking alcohol, using drugs or smoking. It can lead to trouble with the law, with your parents. It can affect your own health. It can affect your own family life as well, right? Next, please. Get inspired, not influenced. Although peer pressure had its own good and bad things, we have to accept the good and face the bad. Whatever is good is always welcome. Whatever is helpful for your own self, it is sharpening you, it is sharpening your skill, it is always welcome. At the same time, you need not get influenced or carried away with the things which are bad, right? And which are dangerous, which are unhealthy for you. Next, please. At times, it may happen when we are carried away by negative peer pressure, there are severe effects. on ourselves, especially mentally and emotionally. Let us check this. We feel guilty afterwards, which may lead to depression. Because you have done something which is against your own values, which is against your belief system, which is against your family norms. So slowly and steadily and gradually, you will start feeling guilty about it. You will start giving less importance to yourself and your own principles of your life. You will be always dependent on others. This is how, especially in college level, the drug addiction has entered in the youngsters because of lower self-esteem and because of so many reasons. They are being carried away. They are dependent on someone for their own decisions. They start hiding things from the parents. Their focus gets diverted. They get into wrong habits and addictions, depression, and at times suicidal tendencies. Make grave mistake in very casual manner, and they are not afraid of it. Not afraid means they are not ashamed of it, that what all they have done, right? So next, please. Risk factor. These are the areas where we need to look upon. Okay, these areas are thinking where we have to think it over it. Low self-esteem, lack of confidence, fear of one's peers, poor academic performance, isolated from family, peer group, lack of personal interest, feeling that friends could turn on you, feelings the bullying cycle, they can be heavy on you, they get united and they leave you alone. But at that time, think of your own self, think of your own strength. And if you are right, stand with yourself. Next. We accept the peer pressure because we want to be accepted by them, want to please others, we want to be in their good book, right? We want to draw attention. We want to be like them. We want to be like everyone else. Oh, the next point is that fear of getting exposed or being harassed, sense of insecurity when you are away from your hometown, your native, your family members, increasing need of money, low confidence. And at that time, you are always driven by your heart, not by your head, right? Next. Now, what all can be done to stop this? Stick to your own principle. If you are not accepted by everyone, it's okay. Do what is good for your own self. Do what is good for the place where you are residing. You are at your office, you are working. Be honest in your work. Believe in yourself. Communicate firmly. Be very sure that you are not going to do, if a no is a big no. Learn to say no. Have courage to leave undesirable friends. Those friends, those people, those who are pressurizing you to do something which you do not want, leave them. It's okay. We will always attract what all we want. Connect with the family members. Connect with the people who inspires you. Do not let others take you for granted. And trusted adults who inspires you. Do not let everyone to take you for granted. Learn to say no. If it is no, it is no. That's it. First and foremost, they may try to isolate you. First and foremost, they try to harass you. First and foremost, they try to bully you. But once they understand that you are not being carried away by all such things, they'll stop coming near to you. And this is the time you have won the battle for your own self. Next. Say no, decide on your position before speaking. Do not apologize when it is not necessary. If you are not wrong, do not apologize. Do not make any excuse when it is not necessary. Don't ask permission to say no. Don't ask. If you want to say no, say no. It's done. That's it. Stick to your own principle. Be on yourself. Always apply both your head and heart. All the future relationship starts with friendship but principles cannot be compromised for friendship. Analyze while choosing friends. Treat male and female friends differently in friendship. Evaluate pleasure versus consequences. Peers do not influence positively or negatively. All mistakes are not pardonable, and always remember, have courage to leave your undesirable friends, and always apply both your head and your heart. Just do not get driven away with your emotions. At times, learn to be practical. Right? Next. So, thank you for listening to me. A learner is a good observer. Observation includes being sensitive of clients and facial expression and fluctuation in the facial muscle tones, facing coloring, gestures, even mind change on a moment to moment. On the basis of that, one can maintain attitude of curiosity and about what these changes might indicate about each client internal state. Be aware, be observer, and thank you for listening. I hope you all might have enjoyed my session. And now the window is open for you to ask any questions or any queries if you get doubt in your mind. Thank you. Any questions, any queries I would like to hear about? I hope you all might have enjoyed the session and you have got more insight or more knowledge about peer pressure, and it would be helpful for you if you are facing such of kinds. It would be helpful for you, the tips which is given by the session.
But then you can unmute yourself. If any questions.
Yes, you can unmute yourself if you have any doubt or any queries. Yes, participants, I am waiting for your feedback as well. If you do not have doubt, it means that I have conducted the session well. Okay, Smruti is writing, I like this seminar very much and got much good guidance. I think Smruti has written something for peer pressure and it will help me a lot. Thank you, Smruti. Yes, my dear friends, any doubt, any queries, please let us know. Even you can give your feedback on your chat box as well. So, sir, anything from yours?
I think no pressure.
No pressure. Yes, actually they have understood. So, sir, you have to do. You feel like saying few words on this?
Yeah, no. If any questions from their side, participants, I mean, anything.
Yeah. Okay, friends, then you can just leave the feedback if you wish.
Amir.
I think Mr. Amir want to say something, and I think it's friends. I would like to ask you to switch on the cameras so that we can take screenshot. My dear friends, please switch on the cameras. Thank you. Thank you, Smruti. Please switch on the cameras so that we can take the screenshot.
One group photo we can.
Yes. One group photo. Smruti, Mr. Chandran, Mr. Raman Kuti, Elvish, Mr. Prasad, Sophie, Ms. Sophie, Rinisha. Please. Mr. Amir is always ready. It is good to see you after a long. I think we are seeing you after a long.
Yeah, okay. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
It's my first experience that anybody takes a session on peer push-ups.
Yeah, very much important topic
Yeah.
these days, and it is day by day the pressure is increasing. And the best
Yeah.
thing is that the worst thing is that people aren't aware how to
Yeah,
deal with.
It's all are taking this as
Yes, friends, please switch on the cameras. I would like to see your happy faces so that we can take a group photo. Yes, Smriti, keep your camera on. Thank you. Mr. Chandran, Mr. Elvish, Mr. Prasad. Okay, sir, so we can take the photo like this as well.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, friends, for joining. Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.